souls, hello one and all. Welcome to Grandma D's house, where you can be you, I can be me, and we'll learn from the magic book machine. We'll put some things in, then a story comes out to help us figure out what life is all about. So come and see Grandma D, Fifi, Brandon, and Ashley, 'cause when you're with them, you're with family. 1, 2, fiddly 3, it's Grandma D in the magic book machine.
Oh, hi, reading friends. We just got back from the book bus.
Uh-huh. Yeah, reading friends. We put on our masks and we walked across the street to where the bus was parked.
We got the best surprise. Mr. Gus was back driving the book bus. So we cheered. He was so happy to be back, even if we were all wearing masks for a while.
Yeah, Mr. Akil said Mr. Gus was super sick, so I'm glad he is back and feeling well.
Yeah, me too. Hey, reading friends, do you know what else he said? He told me that he and Mr. Akil are celebrating and are going to get married, and they invited us to their wedding.
When COVID is over.
Right, when COVID is over.
I wish we could do it now, like in Zoom class.
Well, I bet they are waiting till COVID is over so they can celebrate with all their friends and family.
Oh, I wonder what a wedding is like. I've never been to one.
Oh, that's right. You've never been to a wedding.
Mm-mm.
Well, Ash, they are special. I went to Uncle and Auntie's wedding before you were born.
You did?
I did, and I got to dress up fancy and drink punch, and we danced all night.
Oh, well, that sounds so much fun. I wish I could have gone.
I'm pretty sure there's dancing and flowers at most weddings. And it's Mr. Gus and Mr. Akil, so you know it will be fun.
Oh, I'm even more excited now. I can hardly wait. Why does it have to be after COVID?
Now, Ash, Grandma D would say, calm your body, breathe. Say, we can still think about all the fun we'll have at that wedding after COVID.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of a book I enjoy about a wedding.
Oh, well, we should read it for story time to celebrate Mr. Gus and him getting married. Donovan's Big Day by Lesley Newman, illustrated by Mike Dutton. When Donovan opened his eyes in the morning, he remembered that it was a very big day, and he had a very big job to do. But first, he had to tumble out of bed the minute Grandpa woke him up, and not turn over and shut his eyes or hide his head under the blankets or go back to sleep for even just 5 more minutes. He had to race downstairs and give Sheba her breakfast and gobble up all the pancakes that Grandma served him and slurp down the juice that Grandpa poured him and not drop his fork or spill his syrup or make any kind of fuss. He had to rush back upstairs and wash his hands and clean his nails and scrub his face and brush his teeth and rinse his mouth and comb his hair and not leave the bathroom a great big mess with water splashed all over or dirty towels all over the floor. He had to zip up his new pants, button up his new shirt, slip on his new jacket, buckle up his new shoes, clip on his new tie, and stay inside and not wander off with his cousin Benjamin or run around the yard or let Sheba jump all over him and make big muddy paws. He has to tuck the little white satin box that Aunt Jennifer gave him inside his jacket pocket and keep track of it at all times and not shake it or crush it or squash it or lose it no matter what. He also had to fly outside the minute that he heard Uncle Gregory honk the horn and climb into the back seat of Uncle Gregory's shiny blue car and squeeze in next to his cousins and sit absolutely still without kicking his feet so his new clothes wouldn't wrinkle and his new shoes wouldn't scuff. He had to be the first one to hop off of his seat, scramble out the car, scurry up some steep stairs, hurry through a large sunlit lobby, and dash into a large crowded room full of hundreds of grown-ups all dressed up in their very best clothes, and he had to say hello to every single one of them while they shook his hand, gave him a hug, kissed his cheek, and told him how very handsome he looked on this very big day. He had to take his place with Grandma and Grandpa and Nana and Papa right behind his baby cousin Sienna, who had flowers in her hair and flowers on her dress and flowers in a basket looped over her arm. And after he waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited, he had to walk. Not run, not skip, not hop, not leap, not bounce, not dance. Down the aisle. He had to stand very, very quietly and not tap his feet or fidget while one grown-up read a poem and another grown-up played the piano and another grown-up sang a song. Until Aunt Jennifer told him it was time. And then Donovan reached into his inside jacket pocket and took out that little white satin box he had been keeping there and held it in his hand. He opened the box very carefully. He handed one shiny gold ring to Mommy. He handed one shiny gold ring to Mama. He stood next to both of them without saying a word while they slid the shiny gold rings onto each other's fingers, looked into each other's eyes, said mushy things to each other, and smiled and laughed and cried. When the tall grown-up in the long black robe said, "I now pronounce you wife and wife," Donovan threw his arms around his mother's, while everyone clapped their hands and stamped their feet and whooped and whistled and hollered, "Hooray!" And then after everyone grew quiet, Donovan remembered there was one more very big job for him to do. You may now kiss the brides. The end.
Have you ever been to a wedding reading, friends? Did you have as much fun as the boy in the book, or
all the fun we're gonna have at Mr. Gus's wedding.
Right, Ash. Speaking of which, what are we going to wear? It's never too early to start planning.
Do you think?
I do think.
Oh, well, reading friends, we gotta go pick out some new great outfits. Thanks for joining us today for story time, and we hope you come back again real soon. Come on.
And as Grandma D always says, we don't much care for goodbyes, so for now, farewell.
It's time to say farewell for now, farewell, farewell, for now, for now. It's time to say farewell for now, farewell, farewell, for now, for now. Our time has been such fun, our friendship's only just begun. So remember to share what you've learned with everyone. But it's time to say farewell for now, farewell, farewell, for now, for now. It's time to say farewell for now, farewell, farewell, for now, for now. Grandma D loves you and everything you are. You can bet we'll be with you even when we seem far. And so we'll say farewell for now, farewell, farewell, for now, for now. It's time to say farewell for now, farewell, farewell, for now, for now.